Right then, here is the webinar on key focus points for getting swole. So essentially building muscle as a natural, or building muscle in general for that matter. So, first of all, first part of call is get lean. The leaner you are, the better your body will respond to food. So if you are considering, like, say for example, if you are fat, overweight, unhealthy, you bang a load of carbs in your diet, you're probably going to feel lethargic, you're probably going to feel sleepy, you might not feel too good. If you get to a nice lean start point, the chances are that same food, you're going to feel vascular, you're going to feel pumped when you're in the gym, you're going to probably perform well, you're going to digest it better, all these things. So this is the idea with getting lean. Also, probably the bigger, even bigger, more proven benefit is the fact that if you are lean, you then have a longer runway in order to gain muscle and gain body weight over time. So obviously, to gain muscle and as much as you can, you're better off being in the calorie surplus where you're slowly gaining body weight. Now, if you're already 10 kilos overweight and you gain 10 more kilos on top of that in the space of 6-7 months, you're probably going to feel like a bit of a fat bastard. You're probably not going to feel too good. You're probably not going to digest your food too good. Your sleep quality is not going to be that good. You're probably not going to be very healthy. So there's loads of downsides to doing it and trying to gain muscle and gain body weight when you're already over fat. So if you start off very, very lean, you gain 5 to 10 kilos, you're probably still going to like what you see in the mirror. You're probably still going to feel good and feel yourself and, feel confident enough to take your top off and, get stuck in, which is also great. Also, what you'll find is when you do get really, really fat, if you do start heavy and you go even heavier, when it comes around to your next fat loss phase, you've got so much weight ahead of you to lose. And it just makes it such a long process. So many benefits to getting lean first. So that's what I'd always recommend. So obviously here I did my 8-week fat loss phase. Now I'm in my gaining phase. I'm about 8 pounds up from this. Sorry, 7 to 8 pounds up from this. Ethan's just finished his fat loss phase. Because he's a bit of a newbie, he's managed to make some gains in terms of muscle as well, but he's actually lighter on the right than he's on the left, believe it or not. And then Sam, obviously he's dropped a lot of body weight. He's dropped 10 stone between pictures pretty much. 9 stone, 12 pounds. So he's in much leaner start position now, and he's actually focusing on building some muscle, which is absolutely awesome to see, because the man never thought he'd see the day where he actually tries to gain weight. Okay, second tip, take it slow. Inash, for example, prime example here. Couple of years between pitches, natural athlete, as you can see, so much more of a physique, pecs, triceps, biceps, job lot, so much more muscle added. And Jack, yeah, a bit of a faster transformation, a bit of a faster gaining phase here, probably only a few months, but Jack had a previous training history where he'd been similar to this in the past, and then we just reignited the same type of thing. He's heavier on the right than he's on the left. Same with Inash, he's heavier on the right than he's on the left. And then lastly with Greg here, he's about the same kind of body weight, a bit more of a body recomposition. But once again, we took it slow. With all these people, we took it slow. So with Greg, he was eating a lot more food on the right than he's on the left. We noticed that as we added food, body weight was staying about the same, might gain the odd pound here, maybe, and then he maybe dropped a pound, what have you. But body weight stayed the same, but he gained muscle, lost body fat. So as you can see, the benefits of taking it slow and slowly adding body weight, or slowly adding calories more specifically, is what's going to help you long term. Obviously, if Greg did add more and more food, he'd probably have had more if he had more body weight to his frame over this period of time, he might not have looked as lean as he is on the right now, but he would have gained more muscle. So it's definitely a case of slowly adding body weight over time that's going to basically help you the most. If you have body weight and body fat too fast, you're going to get in a position where you don't like what you see in the mirror. You're going to feel lethargic. Your sleep quality is going to go to pot, and you're going to have to stop your gaining phase way too soon. That's the reason why a lot of people, they'll do a gaining phase for like 8 weeks and then they'll do a fat loss phase again, because in 8 weeks they'll go a kilo a week every week, pretty much 18 pounds in fucking 8 weeks. They'll feel way too fat. They'll do a mini cut and then they'll keep going gain, fat, gain, cut, gain, cut, gain, cut. They'll never end up actually getting anywhere. So take it slow. Okay, manage social occasions. Obviously this is my boy Sam, his wedding, our best man, and for me, it's a case of pick and choosing your social events. If you, say for example, for me, if my mates invite me to go for a drink at the pub, I go down, have a Diet Coke, I won't give a shit. I'm just having a laugh. I'll stick to my plan completely and I won't care. For a big event like this, I got stuck in. I had a few more pints than I care to admit, and we had an absolute blast. And I gained like 5 pounds over the weekend. I got straight back to plan after, and I was still about 2 pounds up, the week after. But that's okay. You pick and choose your battles, and you want a gradual weight gain over time. fuck-ups will happen. So just remember, it's not going to be linear. So you could say, if you was being completely, ruthless, that was a complete fuck-up by me. I drank a lot on the weekend, I ate what I wanted, I had a blast with all, family and friends, and for my best mate's wedding. And, body weight crept up, it jumped up, but we don't stress, because over the case of 6 months, whether you have a clear runway or you're a fucking lab rat and you're just doing the same thing every day, Groundhog Day, you don't have any social events, nothing like that, you don't have anyone to do it with, and you repeat the same diet, or you have social events and you gain the odd weight, it goes up, it comes back down a little bit because you're back on plan, goes up, goes down a little bit. Over the course of 6 months, both people can gain 6 kilos and have great performances in the gym and really progress their physique. But the person who's got the social events and things like that, it's going to look a bit more like this. And this is what most people's gaining phases are going to look like. So don't stress it. It's not going to be a case of, okay, I want to gain on average a kilo a month, so I'm going to gain half a pound a week, which is roughly 0.25 kilos, and that's what I need to gain every single week. And if I gain too much, I need to do a cut back down. No, it's not like that. So it's probably going to be a case of, right, I want to gain a kilo a month. Oh, fuck, first month I've gained 2 kilos. All right, well, next month you hold your weight the best you can. Oh, I've gained another kilo. All right, well, you hold your weight. And then you might hold your weight for another month. And then, on average, over 4 months, you've gained 4 kilos. And performance is still going up, then that's fine. And if performance doesn't go up how you wanted it to, then you might have to gain a little bit more. But we make sure that we don't lose his head over it. We keep the gain train going. Don't start doing fat loss phases all the time, okay? But you will occasionally have to do one, but I'll discuss that later, right at the end. And it's only going to have to be for a short period of time, every now and again. Focus on performance. So it's well known that in a gaining phase, you might get to a point where you're not exactly liking the puffy look. You've been ripped, you've just finished the fat loss phase, now you're in the gaining phase. You're 8 pounds up, you're 10 pounds up, you're 20 pounds up. You feel like a fat bastard. In actual fact, compared to normal people, you're probably very in shape, okay? I'm 8 pounds up from what I was on my photo shoot, and I'm even heavier from my lowest weight, probably about 11 pounds up. And the abs are starting to fade unless I'm under certain lighting. And I find myself thinking, fucking hell. But you just got to remind yourself, give yourself a shake and say, no, mate, this is the gaining phase now. We need to focus on performance. Performance is our measure of progress, not the pictures. Not the what you see in the mirror necessarily. We do take that into consideration, but the main things that you need to focus on right now is getting strong. If you can lift weights that you've never lifted in the gym before with perfect technique in the 5 to 20 rep range, I can guarantee you are going to be building muscle, you are going to be building a physique, and this is how you facilitate the next time when you do get in shape, having a great physique and looking even better than you did previously. So focus on performance, get stuck in, and accept that you're going to gain a bit of body fat. Okay, last 3 points to put it all in one slide. So, first of all, maintain your habits from your fat loss phase. So if you were doing, for example, for me, at the end of my fat loss phase, I was doing an hour of cardio 6 times a week, 2 lots of 30 minutes cardio, and I was doing dog walk 3 times a day, roughly 8 to 10,000 steps. I still do 30 minutes cardio every single day. So I was doing 60 minutes 6 times a week. I think the last week I did 7. Now I'm doing 30 minutes daily. I fit it into my routine. I either do it first thing. For example, this morning I did it at 6:30. Or last night I did it at like 8:30 when baby was in bed. So find the time to do it. Just to keep it in your routine. Whatever got you in shape, you probably want to maintain it in order to keep yourself in shape and also keep hold of these great habits. Weighing food. So I was weighing food during my fat loss phase. I weigh my food now. Okay? I was logging my training during my fat loss phase. I log my training now. I was taking videos during my fat loss phase. I take videos now. I was taking pictures of my physique during the fat loss phase. I take pictures now. Performance then, performance now. So a lot of these great habits that you build in your fat loss phase, when you go and pedal to the metal, you need to fucking do the same thing now. A lot of people, what they'll do is, they'll do a fat loss phase, they'll be super meticulous, they'll get the body fat off, they'll fucking be so anal. Then they'll get to the gaining phase, and they'll just be fucking eating burgers, kebabs and beer, and being like, well, I fucking don't need to track my food anymore, I'm gaining. And they won't log any of the workouts, well, I'm definitely getting stronger, I'm fucking gaining. Next thing you know, they're 4 stone up, feel fat as fuck, and they have to do a fucking massive cut. So make sure you're meticulous and you keep them habits from your fat loss phase. I promise it'll pay dividends. Okay, accept that you're going to gain some body fat. Okay, over the course of a large gaining phase, as a natural athlete, you probably want to be pushing minimum 6 months, like probably up to like 12 months, maybe even longer. you are going to gain some body weight, probably 10 to 15 kilos, okay? So 10 kilos is 22 pounds, a stone and 8 pounds, 15 kilos is 33 pounds, which is 2 stone and 5 pounds. So you're going to be gaining somewhere between there over the course of, anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And that's normal. Accept it. Don't sweat it, because we know body fat can come off fast, but muscle takes a long time to gain. So accept that you're going to add a little bit of body fat, but know that it's going to be worth it, because when you do cut back down, we know you can lose a kilo a week. Yeah? Up until once you start getting very lean, you'll slow that down. But at first, when you start your fat loss phase, you can lose a kilo a week. So when you're gaining weight and you're gaining on average a kilo a month, you get a bit, I don't look a bit blurry in the mirror now. I can't see my abs, looking a bit chunky. Don't worry about it, because that fat will come off fast. Lastly, use mini cuts. So a few reasons why I use mini cuts. Basically a short fat loss phase, a short and aggressive fat loss phase where you'll lose a kilo a week for 3 to 6 weeks. So times where you'll do this, obviously, inevitably, you don't want to keep gaining a kilo a month forever, because you will end up turning into a fat bastard eventually. You do that for 30 months, 30 kilos, 66 pounds. Chances are, unless you're a brand newbie to training, you're going to end up being pretty fat doing that. And obviously, health complications come with that. Sleep quality will be detrimented, which therefore means you probably won't train as well, and you probably won't be getting as much out of the process. So every now and again, we want to do a mini cut. Also, if you keep gaining body weight inevitably and you don't do a mini cut, you probably get to a point where you don't like what you see in the mirror, and it really starts to affect your quality of life. So that's another time you do it. It might start affecting your head if you're getting really fat. Also, what we know is as body weight's coming up, in order to facilitate the body weight coming up, we're obviously eating more. And sometimes what can happen is, what happened to client Inash, you get to a point where your food's that high, where something will go with digestion. Your digestion will probably start to go to pot. You just won't feel comfortable. You'll feel bloated. You feel lethargic. And that's where it's worth doing a mini cut as well. So a few reasons there why you do a mini cut. And it helps just resensitize you, remotivate you, ready to then start pushing the food back up. Also, it can also help build up leptin, which is build up ghrelin, which is appetite hormone, and basically start to get you hungry again. Okay, which is obviously helpful when you're trying to push the food up. So yeah, they are the main points on building muscle as a natural. I had a word with, so at the end of the group call, Sam, who was, just for reference, this is Sam over here, made a very valid point about how, you are going to regain some body fat, and it's, there is a bit of a head fuck with that, but you have to remind yourself that it's not necessarily a bad thing. So Sam now, his lowest weight was 14.12. He's been all the way up to like 15.2 against, 14.2. He's been all the way up to 15.2 since, and then back down a bit, whatever. He's had his wedding, he's had his mini moon, he's got his honeymoon. So he's got all these big social events, but he's not sweating it, and he didn't come off his wedding and go, oh God, I've gained 7 pounds. I need to do a fat loss phase. He just gets straight back on the food he was on before. By the end of the week, he dropped all of that weight apart from 1 pound, and it doesn't matter because he's in his steady gaining phase. And it's that thing of, in 6 months' time, whether you have a clear runway or if you have loads of social events, if you gain that average of a kilo a month or a kilo and a half a month, you're fine. If you're 6 kilos up in 6 months and the guy next to you has done the same, but you've had a load of social events and yours has gone up, and then you've held weight for a month or two, and then it's gone up, then you've held weight, it doesn't matter. As long as performance is climbing up, the net body weight's climbing up, that's the main thing, okay? You're not a lab rat, you're not gonna be in this perfect little box. You've got a life, you've got shit going on, so there is going to be a little bit of that. Right, guys, that is the main points on getting swole. If you've got any questions, drop me a message, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.